fields of Cambridgeshire in England. It's myself and Sneaky Pete is here as well. Just the two of us. This is us just approaching the final couple of miles to Detectival 2022 on the Cambridgeshire-Suffolk border in Englandshire. I've got Pete here to act as translator with the locals. I'll turn it around in a minute and show you our arrival at Detectival 2022. Unfortunately, Albert couldn't make it. Something came up at work and he had to cancel at the last minute. Martin's wife is heavily pregnant, so he's hopefully arriving later tonight on his own. So let's go and have a look at the entranceway to Detectival 2022. Here. We're in and we're looking at the fields which will hold incredible tin can finds, lead, scrap metal. Look, big solar power farm on the left hand side. It's well seen we're not in Scotland. Even in the countryside there are traffic jams. This is the queue to get into the campsite so we can get our tickets, get signed in, get our wristbands, buy our raffle tickets. Yeah. And win a couple of metal detectors each, and then also go and find our pitch, and we can all laugh as I try and put my tent up for the first time ever. But I have kinda checked it and it's at least 6'4" in length, so fingers crossed I can actually lie straight this time. We have safely arrived at Detectival. Pete and myself. Here's Pete's little mansion, complete with cooler and beautiful bed, raised bed area. Here, I've learned my lesson from last year. It's not massive, but trust me, I've tried it. I can lie out straight. I've invested in a Vango Orion 200. Let's have a little glimpse inside. Oh, look at that. Now that, compared with last year, is a luxury. Now Martin's not here yet, but we're hoping that he's on the way. And if he is, then he and he gets this. This is his child's tent for this year. For some reason they lost the poles from the tent for last year, and this is Marty's tent for 3 nights. Assuming of course that he makes it. I don't know why we can't buy tents that are designed for adults, but it appears we can. This is the campsite taking shape at Detectival, all shapes and sizes of tents. Now this is my van, which appears to have a mechanical problem. Literally just as we pulled into Detectival, despite having just had a service, it isn't running right, it's not sounding right, so I'm now going to have to phone the AA, or the Automobile Association, to come out and take a look at it and figure out what is wrong, because it is in perfect working order normally. Right, Pete's got his chair, I've got my chair, I've just poured a little can of Coke out. We're going to sit and enjoy what's left of the evening. Here we go, here is dinner for this evening. We have come prepared. We've got our fried onions, our burgers, beautiful big hot dogs, our brioche buns, and our burger rolls. That is how the Scottish Detectorist roll. Welcome to Detectival. Talk about perfect timing. The barbecue is just completed And look at the state of that.
Jump on.
Here we go, folks. Sneaky Pete, Big Marty. Oh, nearly fell over. And we're off. We've got the green light. And we're heading for the field at the end here to begin, which is field number 2. Let's see how we get on. Welcome to the fields of Cambridgeshire in England. Pete's right there with the old XP DEUS II. Marty is straight ahead of us, and we're underway at Detectival 2022. We've come straight into field number 2, but we're heading to other fields further away, which have got quite a lot of history to them. So we don't know if anyone else has done their research, but I've got some good insider knowledge, so fingers crossed. Let's see what we get on, or how we get on. I'm going with the XP DEUS II as ever. Turn her on. I think I'm going to go with program 3 to begin with, which is sensitive full tones with the square tones. So, fingers crossed. Let's see what we get. I'm not using the harness today, and we're straight in. 10 seconds, first signal. '85, '86. Let's see what we get on the first hole. Well, it's this. It's a piece of bronze. Does look like it's got a bit of age to it. Also looks like it's got a little bit of iron on the end there. What is it though? Certainly looks old. Interesting. We'll see what the old find liaison has to say about that. I suspect though it may be junk, but it's a better quality of junk. Barely 1 minute later, signal number 2. This equals the total number of signals that I think I got on day 2 of Detectival last year. '87, '88, coin territory. Let's see what we get. Again, pretty shallow target. Tell you what, I've picked up about 3 pounds of mud between my 2 Wellingtons. I hope the other fields are not as claggy as this, but there we are. Spotted that straight away as soon as I dug it out. Again, it's copper alloy. Well, not again. The last thing was bronze, but this is copper alloy, I think. Again, looks a bit crude. Not sure. Maybe part of a buckle. Not sure on that one. Let me know in the comments below. It does look like it could have been something with a bit of age to it though. Now on to field number 12, and as you can see, a lot quieter. Unfortunately though, the soil is still sticking to the boots, which is a bit of a nightmare, but it is what it is. Now I know there's a bit of medieval activity around this field. Got a solid 75 there, which is just turned up an eyelet off of a tarpaulin, unfortunately. I thought it was probably going to be junk, but dug it anyway. Had another couple bits of tin foil and the tin can, but other than that, nothing good. So let's see how we get on. That's me halfway across pond 12. Pond 12? Field 12, not pond 12. And as you can see, pretty few people up here. I think most people are in the token field and off in the opposite direction. But as we say, we've got some intelligence that field 12 and field 31 might be worth a look. And I got a 78 there, relatively shallow, couple of spades down, and I've got my first coin. And it is Teddy Edward VII with his hooked nose. We're looking to the right hand side, you can see it. It's a bit claggy, but I think that will clean up pretty nicely. And it's a halfpenny. 1902, so just 1 year after he took the throne.
from his dear departed mother, Queen Victoria. Brilliant. Well, I've got a coin, my first coin, in the first hour. Thought for a minute there I had coin number 2, but it's the dreaded shotgun cap. Well, shotguns are double-barreled, so I suppose where you get one shotgun cap, you normally get at least one more. Okay, so we are now on to field 32. It's been slim pickings for the boys. There's a boy from somewhere in the northeast of England. So yeah, we're going to give it a bash. Field 32, and then we're heading into 31, see what treasures there are to be found. Just in from the edge of the field, and first signal right here, fairly shallow, and it came in at an 87, and we've got what I think is a decorated horse brass. It's got like a shield with lines through it. I'm guessing it's probably off a heavy horse that would have pulled the plough. Would have been a bright gold colour back in the day when it was newly made, and I don't know, maybe it's a coat of arms in the centre for the farm or the landowner. And date wise, I reckon it's going to be Victorian, probably 1830s to 1900 or so. Decorated the big horses that pulled the ploughs. Well, it's a find. Couple of shotgun caps and bits and bobs so far. Here we've got a pretty mind-blowing, or yeah, mind-blowing, ear-blowing is the word I was looking for. 96, 97. Now it's either going to be a bit of silver or a bit of aluminium. Only one way to find out. We're out the hole, no pinpointer required, because I could see that little glint, and we might have a milled silver coin. Milled silver coin, maybe. Soil is really claggy. Lots of... oh, that is hammered. That's a hammered coin. That is hammered. You beauty. Let me give Pete a shout. Right, I've just given Pete a wave because I don't want people to descend upon this spot. But I think we've got a hammered coin. Look at the thickness of that. Right, I'm going to need to get the squishy bottle out because that is clad in mud. So give me 1 minute. I'll get Pete to give me a hand, and then we will thoroughly search around for anything else. Okay, Pete's had a look. He thinks it's hammered. He thinks he can see lions on it. He's got better eyesight than me. He's providing the scooshin. As you can see, the soil is really clay. I'll just make a puddle in my hand. Oh, you smell that suntan lotion, Pete? I think we're going to need a lot of water. Definitely something there, isn't there?
Yep, definitely.
God, I'm going to use the whole bottle at this rate. Try and see if you can spray it just under the soil almost.
You might have to pull a bit of it off manually.
It doesn't want to come off. God, talk about clay soil. It is stuck to it totally.
Definitely hammered, that is.
100% it's hammered. Right, we're going to need to do this off camera and come back to you because I'll need to get a bit of straw or something and pick this off. I'll come back to you in a minute, but it is definitely hammered. Okay, what we thought was a head is a horse and a man on top of it. Right, spray away, Pete. It just doesn't want to come off. That is a man on a horse. Ugh, cannot get it off. What kind of mud have you got here in England? There we go. Doing my best not to scratch it before anyone says you're scratching it.
That isn't much down in the mud, it's just mud.
Mud. Look at that.
That's looking good.
Look at that. There is a fella riding a horse. When's that from, Pete?
I've no idea.
Me neither. Right, I'm going to dry it out.
Good lad.
Oh, and there's the back. What way's up? Is it even European?
I can say that might even not even be English.
Right, okay, we've no idea about this one, but look how thick it is. That is a chunky, chunky coin. That is a chunky coin. That's about a half an ounce of silver right there, I would say. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right, we're going to need to, I don't know, ask somebody else, see what they say. Right, the jury's out for the moment. I haven't had one, Pete's never had one, and yeah, leave it with us. That is a beautiful coin. That is a great start. Great start. It's a bit black, it's a bit scuffed, it's a bit clipped, but it's silver and it's hammered. Beautiful. Got the boys over. My hammered coin was just where that spade is. Dug another signal right next to it, turned out to be a screw. Pete's right there, and Marty has just dug a hole right there, and it looks like he has got a hammered silver coin, potentially. Get the suntan lotion on it. I think you're putting more mud on it than you're taking off. %100 hammered coin. 100% hammered coin.
It's only clay, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oof, that's beautiful. It's got a hole in it.
No, that's one.
Definitely got a hole in it.
Definitely got a hole in it. Oh, it is.
That's Henry VIII. That's Henry VIII.
Henry VIII.
I think that's Henry VIII. Do you see the bust on the other side? It's facing us. You see it?
Oh yeah.
It's almost like the hole's gone through his eye.
Yeah.
That is, I think that's Henry VIII. I think that's quite rare.
Is it?
Right, we'll give it a clean up properly and get back to you. Marty's now using my spray bottle to wash himself because he's covered in mud, and that is a nice coin. You can see the shield on the back. You've got 3 lions of England, top right and bottom left, and you've got the 3 fleur de lis of France, top left and bottom right, and it's got a hole through it, so it's probably been worn on a string at some point. I don't know what the letters are. They're pretty well worn, but I probably wouldn't know what they would say anyway, because this is an English coin, not a Scottish coin, because Henry VIII was not the King of Scotland, he was the King of England and claimant to the throne of France. And you can see a bust in the centre of Henry VIII. And I've never seen a coin of Henry VIII. I've never found one. I think this could be quite rare. Now it's maybe a groat or a halfpenny or something like that. We'll have to do some further investigation, but well done, Marty. That is a beauty. Really good. And probably less than 10 or 15 metres away from my coin. Right, we're going to keep spreading out, see what else we can find. Brilliant, well done. And I forgot to mention, if this is Henry VIII, then I'm sure he ruled sometime around the 1530s, 1540s, or thereabouts. And we think that the other coin that I got, I think might be Charles I. I'm sure I can see the words, or part of the word, Carolus, which is Charles. So that would put it 1625 to 1649, so it's the best part of 100 years later. So maybe it's a trackway, maybe both coins were still in circulation at that point, but we'll see the fines liaison people and see what they say. Well, Pete's got himself a coin now, but unfortunately it is a spendable. It is our late sovereign, Queen Elizabeth II, who passed away just 2 days ago at Balmoral in Scotland after 70 years on the throne. Very poignant find for Pete. Okay, we're still searching the spot. We've dug quite a lot of holes. You'll see Pete there working towards me. Pete's got the thumb up. Pete's got a hammer coin. I think Pete's got a hammered coin. Okay, I think we've got 3 hammered coins now. Let's go and see. Pete's just giving me the thumbs up, but I just got that. And I'm whispering because people are steadily working their way towards us and working their way around us. Don't want to give the game away, but I just get this fragment. It looks like maybe it's part of a crotal bell, possibly. Looks like it's been a sort of sphere or circular shape. But either way, that is a nice find. I'm happy with that. Well, if it's a crotal bell that is, but I'm even happier that Pete looks like he has found himself a hammered coin, so let's go and have a look. What you got?
Bag break.
Oh, it's a whopper. Oh, Pete.
Oh yeah. Keep the explicities away.
Right, Pete has got himself an absolute stoater.
That's why I just took it under there and didn't tell you.
There you go. There's your water. Right, let's see. Pete, that's a stoater. Look at the size of it. It's got every bit of lettering on it.
This could be our bit. Just go down and put the fines up.
Squatting mad. That guy's looking at us.
That's why I was going to keep it for a minute and let him get fucked.
Okay, as quietly as I can, it looks like we have got Elizabeth I. Elizabeth de Gracia Ang Fr et Hybe Regina. So Elizabeth I. By the grace of God, Queen, oh no, by the grace of God, England, France and Ireland, Queen Regina. And that is, I think, a shilling, which is 12 pence. And you can just make out her bust looking to the left hand side. That's about as good a shilling as you're probably liable to get. The bust is pretty good because they're normally pretty worn, like the one I got the other week. But on the reverse, you've got the shield with the fleur-de-lis of France, bottom left, top right. Top right, bottom. No, top left, bottom right. And you've got the 3 lions in England, bottom left, top right. And then Pos vi Deus which is something along the lines of the Queen governs for God or something like that. I can't remember. I'm too excited. That is brilliant. 3 of us all getting a hammered coin within half an hour of one another. So that is tremendous. And I think it's a shilling, which means it would be 12 pence. And date-wise, it will be sometime between, what, 1550s and 1603. She famously had her cousin, Mary Queen of Scots. She had her head cut off in 1587, if I remember rightly, having kept her imprisoned for 20 years. But her son James James VI would go on to become James I of England in 1603. And that is a beauty. That is 3 fantastic coins, all found within about 30 metres of one another. Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. I've got a screamer of a signal here. We're still in the same hammered coin spot. It's an 89.90, which is certainly within the realms of a coin. So let's find out. Okay, there we are. This is what popped out. Not quite sure what it is, to be honest. I don't think it's silver. But it is the end of something, and it's got this little hole in it. So I don't know, maybe a bit off a light bulb, maybe a bit off of a cigarette lighter, maybe off of a walking cane. I'm not sure is the honest answer, but let me know in the comments below. We'll keep on hunting. This was actually a nice signal, a 78, but I didn't film it, and there we go. This has popped out. Again, we're still in the wee hammered coin area, and we've got a very nice little buckle. Very fragile, missing its pin as they normally are. And yeah, could that be contemporary with the coins? I think maybe it could be. It looks kind of slightly uneven, slightly, you know, irregular. Oh, in fact, no, that is the pin. That's the pin there. That's the pin. That's why it looks irregular, I think. I think. Well, what do you reckon to that? Could that be from the era of the 15 or the 1600s? I think it could. And if it is, maybe it's contemporary with the coins, the hammered coins. Let me know in the comments below. For those of you who know my channel, you'll know that this is always a good sign. When you get to see my ugly little face, it means that we have got something pretty spectacular to show you. I have struck gold at Detectival for the 2nd year on the trot. Unbelievable.